And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, rock cod Rick Maxa, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. And Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and rock cod Rick Maxa.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with rock god Rick Maxa. We're in the Mighty 1090 studios with Captain Ryan Bostian from the San Diego. We're going to be talking some fishing here because it's going on. You stay tuned. This is Southern California Sport Fishing Voice. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
The new Shimano Torium HG is here, and you'll be able to experience this fantastic reel now at your local Shimano dealer. The new Torium is up to 30% smaller than the previous generation, but still has the same line capacity. The smaller S compact body design and one-piece die-cast aluminum frame provides more rigidity and lighter weight. Torium now has EI surface treatment and is tested up to 700 times the corrosion resistance of past models. The new Shimano Torium HG is not only better on the outside, the inside is amazing, with a cross-carbon drag providing up to 24 pounds of drag pressure from a Star Drag reel. It has a sealed roller clutch and 6.2 to 1 brass gears. The machined aluminum handle has a larger knob to make it easy to crank in the big fish. The new lightweight aluminum spool gives you better casting and control. Available in 3 sizes, the Torium HG is the next evolution in compact, rigid, and powerful saltwater Star Drag reels. Get it now at your local Shimano dealers. Great boats, free parking, and a fully stocked tackle shop. Just a few of the reasons Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top charter boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Eclipse, Apollo, Outer Limits, Pacific Star, El Gato Dos, Alexis, Pride, Privateer, Tribute, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth Sea Watch in San Diego offer the finest half, 3/4, and full-day trips available. Check out the full-service tackle store at Seaforth Sport Fishing. And it's all run by Fisherman for Fishermen. 1717 Quivira Road, just off Mission Bay Drive in Mission Bay. Book online at seaforthlanding.com.
My Angler H2O. I will scent my lure with pride. And hope my boss doesn't notice the tan. I will outmaneuver drought-exposed sunken boats and outlast the hard-fighting largemouth bass. I will save water at home for better fishing out here, and always wear my life jacket.
What's your H2O? Tell us at BoatCalifornia.com. The California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways reminds you to wear it, California.
Summer has finally arrived, bringing warmer waters our way. And you know what that means? The offshore fishing this season could be one of the best ever. And speaking of best ever, have you seen the new 2015 Ford F-150? It's the most advanced F-150 ever, which is even more good news for fishermen. One of my favorite features is the available 360-degree camera. It lets you see everything around you, which really comes in handy when you're trying to launch on a crowded dock. It's also the first truck ever to be built with military-grade aluminum alloy. That means the new F-150 is up to 700 pounds lighter to accelerate faster and stop quicker. It also hauls more and tows more. And get this, it does it all more fuel efficiently. I highly recommend taking one out for a test drive. The new F-150 is the best thing to happen to fishermen in San Diego since the barbed hook. So stop by your San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Not sure how you were able to get this guy peeled off the boat with the crazy season they're having, but I know it's going to make for a rad show, man.
Well, he's got to take a day off once in a while. So how does he spend his day off? Come in and talk fishing with our listeners. Thanks, Captain Ryan Bostian. Sure appreciate you taking your day off to do this.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so what about it, man? You were just talking about popper fishing for tuna.
Yeah, we're offshore now on the San Diego. We left the Coronado Islands. It's been 2 weeks now we've been offshore, and we've had some good days out there yellowfin tuna fishing. As most of your listeners probably know, there's an amazing amount of fish right on the coast here. 10, 12, 15 miles from the point is a tremendous amount of tuna. And they don't bite every day. They do bite some days. We see them just about every day. And fly line baits, and for the guys that like to fish the lures, the popper fishing's been really good. It's been a lot of fun. Big bluefin around, different sizes of yellowfin tuna around. There's yellowfin tuna from 4 to 65 pounds.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, 4 to 65-pound yellowfin tuna.
There's some spots of yellowfin tuna jumping around out there that look like little hot pockets jumping out of the water. They're tiny little 3-4 pounders, and then there's some ones that look like pickup trucks being dropped out of the sky.
Wow,
it's all mixed up.
Gosh, that is so much fun, and you're running 3/4-day trips on the San Diego out of C4 Sport Fishing every day.
Every day. 5:30 the boat leaves the dock, and coming back somewhere between 5 and 7 in the evening, trolling around, looking for sonar schools, kelp patties, doing the deal, a lot like last year.
Yeah, and we should note that you have all the gear necessary to find these fish on the San Diego. You are a high-tech, high-end boat.
Yeah, we have the latest and greatest fish finding equipment, the best sonar for our boat that we could fit in that boat. It's a
gyroscopic fire.
Yeah, 3 pairs.
Yeah, 3 pairs of gyros.
3 pairs of gyros going all day long.
Yeah.
Furuno electronics, and we're just whenever you're offshore, you're just trying to stack the odds in your favor as much as possible. So you don't want to cut any corners. You know, if an opportunity presents itself, you want to be able to take advantage of it. If a school gets up 4 miles away from you without the gyros, you wouldn't see it. But
wait a minute. You're seeing a school of fish, bird school, 4 miles away with a pair of binoculars.
We ran for a bird school the other day, and it's been perfect lighting conditions lately. Perfect ocean state, perfect lighting conditions. We saw a bird school into the east where we had the sun at our back. Everything was absolutely perfect. I marked it on the plotter. There was big birds in it. There was booby birds in it. So things were absolutely perfect. It was 6.5 miles away.
Oh, my God. No way.
Six and a half miles.
It's a game changer.
It's a game changer. Yeah, I can't go fishing without them.
Yeah. So what happened the last 2 days? We had our Shimano Let's Talk Hookup on the Water seminar on Friday, and the day before, of course, loaded the boat.
Yeah.
And then Alex takes the group out, and what happened?
On Wednesday, we had 147 yellowfin.
Jeez.
On Thursday, we had 122 yellowfin and 1 bluefin. And then the Shimano trip comes around, and we
licking your chops.
Licking our chops, yeah.
We're thinking we're going to get them.
We're going to get them. And we see all the same sign of fish, same areas, same amount of fish, and we can hardly get a bite.
Just didn't want to bite.
Just didn't want to bite. Really weird. They found some bait. There's a lot of soweries that moved in the last couple of days, and you know, fish are fish, and they're weird. And when they get into a funk and they get into the wrong mode, I don't care who you are. Sometimes you can't catch them.
Yeah. It's not for lack of fish.
It's not for lack of fish.
Same amount of fish around, maybe more.
Maybe more.
It's just they're on something different and they change. And the same thing happened yesterday, right?
Same thing happened yesterday. You know, we started in an area real close to home yesterday morning where we were seeing great sign of fish. Every direction I looked, I could see at least 3 to 5 bird schools up, crashing yellowfin tuna underneath them. And we were stopping on them and we couldn't get a bite. Fly lining perfect sardines right in the middle of them, casting our lures in the middle of them. They wouldn't bite it. And we took off. We explored some different areas. We came back to that same area in the afternoon, and there was no birds up, 0 birds at all, but we found 4 big schools on sonar. The first 3 we tried, we couldn't even get a boil out of them. The last one we tried, they boiled up. They sat underneath the boat. We had a rent rod company charter group yesterday, and we landed 12. On our very last stop of the day, like at 5 in the evening.
Wow.
And they acted different. They got underneath the boat. They boiled on our chum. If we would have got on a stop like that early in the day,
you could have sat with them maybe all day.
We could have probably sat with them for, hours and hours and hours and put a good score together. But, the mode of the fish is so important when you're offshore. Sometimes you can catch them on pieces of bubble gum right on the corner, and other times you can't catch them.
Can't catch them. Yeah.
So wow.
And today could be a different day. Today they could be in the same place and full speed biting.
Full speed biting. This local fish has kind of been patterning like that, where it'll bite really good for a day or two and then back off and not bite so much, and then bite good for a day or two and then back off and not bite. So I wouldn't be surprised if Captain Taro is out there. He's probably arriving on the grounds right now. I wouldn't be surprised if the first school he pulls up on, they're ready to go.
They're ready to chew.
Yeah.
The volume that's out there is what blew me away so much. When we were there on Thursday, there was a point in the middle of the day where we were on a stop and we picked up the binoculars just to take a glass around the fleet, just to keep an eye on everybody, look around, see what's going on. We were in a plunker bite, and there was probably in an expanded area, in an area that you can see with your gyro. So we're talking, like you say, a 4-mile area where you're seeing boats, and every single boat was sideways in a drift. There was probably 20 boats in a 25 boats in a, we're talking a 4 or 5 square mile area, a big area, not that they were in time, but every single boat was sideways and drifting with fish. That's 5 square miles, and
a lot of fish.
Everywhere in that 5 square miles there was somebody that had fish on them. It was crazy.
Yesterday in the morning when we got out there, we were in our area of bird schools and breaking yellowfin tuna, and I was scanning all the VHF channels, listening to everyone out there, and from what I could gather, making notes on my notepad, it was like a 15-mile line of fish where guys were seeing bird schools up with crashing yellowfin tuna. Unbelievable.
Wow.
If you talk to the guys that have been out there every day, the sign of fish is unbelievable, and they're actually not biting yet. Even if there's even those good days you've seen in the counts, you've still had to work for a bite. It's been plunker bites. If they get on the bite, we're going to be driving away from them by noon, going home.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, if they get on the bite.
So what do you think? Here we are, beginning of August 1st, next Saturday. We're peak of the season right now. A lot of fish around. What's going to happen this year?
That's a good question. I was talking to Jason on the Pegasus yesterday, and he was going through his logbook, and he said that last year at this time, we were catching a few, but it wasn't really, really good yet. And then a week from today is when they really went on the bite. So I'm going to hold Jason to that.
I like that.
Good call, Jason.
And certainly the table is set.
No doubt.
They have arrived. It's just a matter of them turning the switch, and they're going.
Yeah, and it's, don't get me wrong, it's still great fishing, especially for the private boat community. If you want to go out there and catch a couple fish, or possibly even catch a bunch of fish, the fishing is phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
But for sport boats, to go sideways and catch 100 to 300 in a drift, it's not quite there yet.
Right.
But it certainly could happen at any day.
How would you, if you were on a private boat, how would you fish differently than what you fish on the San Diego?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I see some private boats come out and their only game plan from the start of the day was, I'm going to follow the sport boat.
Let's find the San Diego.
Yeah,
Booger knows where they are.
And that's fine if that's what they want to do, but they're missing the whole point of having their own boat. They could be enjoying it so much more.
Oh yeah.
If I were to fish on a private boat right now, if it were me, I'd go down to Baker Marine and I'd buy a pair of gyros today. And I would be just looking for my own bird school, away from the pack. And there's plenty of private boat guys that we never see. Like you guys, do your own thing out there,
your own,
having a great time. That's what I would do, because, when you're fishing around a sport boat for tuna offshore, the sport boat has such a huge advantage over you.
Exactly.
Because of chum and, bait capacity and lines in the water. You need to go find your own school of fish, and you'll have a much better time.
And I'm saying Booger's going to mop all those things up. Like, I don't want to be near him. Like, he's got a sonar and 3 guys in gyros, and he's going to get on the direction the school wants to be, and he's going to put the bait in the water to keep them underneath him. Like, that's not what I want. I want to pick off my 3 in a wolf pack and get on and get the next 3 and get the next 3, and then we're done. It's one of those kind of things where, if you're picking off the scraps, that San Diego gets them. That fish gets underneath him. Yeah, and the tuna, that's the thing about the tuna, too, is they get underneath you, they're not coming out.
They're not coming off if they're in the right mode. Yeah. It doesn't matter how close you get. They're underneath the boat, and that's where they're going to stay for a few hours. But if you're off doing your own thing, you could get a school to do that under your boat, know.
So
the kelp. Oh, go ahead, please.
Kelp patties. Guys are always saying, "Well, there's a kelp." How have the kelp patties been this year?
Up and down.
Yeah.
There's been some days where the day we had 147, which was, I guess, Wednesday. The day we had 147, I think we had 5 fish on the boat, and I just put the boat on a course for home. punched the Mission Bay jetties in, and we drove right into a little kelp patty. And this was a kelp patty that I know had been fished earlier in the day because it was right in the thick of all the boats. We had been there in the morning. It had to have gotten fished in the morning. We pulled up on it, and there was a school of tuna on it, and they were ready to go, and we caught 140 in about 20 minutes.
Oh, my God.
They were biting.
They weren't there earlier.
That's what I think. I don't know for sure, but that's what I think. Tuna do weird things. Well, they'll move on and off kelps. They'll go up and down in the water column. There's guys out there tootling around in areas where they're seeing nothing, only because they like the conditions, and that's where the fish came up in the afternoon the day before. They're seeing nothing for hours, and then all of a sudden, at 2 o'clock, there's schools up everywhere.
Yeah.
Explain that. It's, they're
fishing.
up and down. It's just fishing, yeah.
Yeah.
But what I saw when we got to go offshore twice last week, and the kelp seemed perfect for a private boater, where almost every kelp that we saw that was right. The water's right, and it's a big kelp, there's bait on. Almost every one of those we would catch 1 or 2 fish. We'd catch 1 yellow. We'd catch 1 dorado. We'd catch 2 dorado. We'd catch 1 yellow. Not ideal sport boat fishing where you're committing 20 minutes to putting 1 fish in the sack, but for a skiff, you could roll up, you can catch 1 or 2, and then you just move on to the next. And next thing you know, if you hit 20 kelps, 15 of them were holding something, and you had a rad day. And it seemed ideal for a small boat, but maybe not sport boat wise. And I mean, you know how that is. The 21st kelp you could roll on, you could have the same stop that Ryan had, where you'd fill the whole boat. But it seemed very ideal. Skiff, just a couple of bites every time, here or there. Every one that was in the right area had a fish or 2 on them that we would catch.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about Mexico for a second, because some big news has come out here in the last day. A big press release yesterday. I had lunch with Ken and the girls from SAC on Friday talking about the issues with Mexico now. Mexico has basically thrown the gauntlet down and said, we are going to start enforcing our rules. Passports, FMMs, fishing license when you're fishing within 12-mile territorial limit. How does that affect you?
It doesn't really affect us too much at all, other than the fact that it may hurt our passenger counts a little bit. There's a few people that don't have passports and can't get passports. But other than that, a couple of weeks ago, we were fishing the Coronado Islands every single day, and we were sold out.
Getting checked regularly?
We get checked all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just the rules now. If you want to fish Mexico, you need a passport, you need a FMM, you need a Mexican fishing license.
That's what they're requiring.
That's what they're requiring.
Okay.
It's the law.
So
that's what we do.
There was an article in the newspaper this morning. There was a big press release, and they're serious now. They're saying that if you do not comply, they are going to tow you to Ensenada and deport you.
Good.
Yeah. So that's the deal, guys. So abide by their rules. That's the message right now that we need to send out there. If you're going to fish within 12 miles of territorial Mexican waters, you need to be correct in your things. But that doesn't change your operation whatsoever. Especially right now, you're fishing U.S. waters offshore.
We're fishing U.S. waters offshore, or we're fishing offshore in Mexico outside of 12 miles.
Right.
But, it doesn't change our operation at all. The guys in the Seaforth office are great. They check your passport as soon as you walk up to the counter, and if it's expired, I'm sorry, you can't come fishing.
Yep.
If you don't have one, I'm sorry, you can't come fishing. But it's the rules. It's the law, and it's the way it should be.
Yeah.
The Mexican boats can't come fish La Jolla Cove if they
Right.
wanted to. We should feel pretty fortunate that we can even go down there.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And abide by their rules.
Yeah, and it's a thing. There's no other country in the world that you can just freely go into without having a passport. In previous years, I mean, it's not like they're doing some radical thing. It's a foreign country. That's how it works. If you want to go to a foreign country, you have to have a passport. It's like that every other country in the world. We just should be exactly like I said. We should just feel super fortunate that we got to do it as easy as we did for so many years, and it's still just as easy. You just got to go get a passport.
Yeah.
It's not a difficult thing, and the FMM process is super easy. If you're going, see if the Yellowtail's great at the Coronado Islands and the San Diego's back fishing the Coronado Islands, the process of getting your FMM via the landing is nil. Like the guys in the office there are so good and so fast. I mean, they're every bit as fast now getting you your passport checked and your FMM as they were in the old days of not having to do it. I mean, that Seaforth team is clockwork.
Yeah. So don't be that guy that makes headline news of being the first boat
right?
being towed to Ensenada.
Yeah.
That's the message right now. Just don't
follow the rules.
Follow the rules.
Yeah.
You won't be that guy
It's easy.
or that boat. So, as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for you today. Lots to talk about today with Captain Ryan Bostian.
Well, you're not kidding. Yeah, going to be lots of fun and lots of great information. If you want to join us on the show, we would love to hear from you this morning. And there's two ways you can reach us here on Let's Talk Hookup. First is with our local line, which is 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. That's our local line. Or you can reach us toll-free. That toll-free number, 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. And as you can imagine, all the phone lines are packed up right now, but there's going to be plenty of opportunities. We're going to be taking your calls. And not only are we going to be taking your phone calls, Captain Ryan Bostian answering all your fishing questions today, we have got an awesome prize for one lucky caller at the end of the show today, and that's a 3-quarter-day trip to go get in on this great offshore fishing right now. Some lucky caller is going to get to go have one of those awesome stops on the San Diego, because we're giving away a trip on the San Diego out of C4 Sport Fishing to one lucky caller again at 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. And when we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls. Lots of great information coming your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Get it all at Dana Landing in Mission Bay. It's truly the one-stop shop for a great day on the water. Looking for a fishing charter? Dana Landing had you covered with several boats, including the new Blackjack, perfect for 2 to 4 anglers, and the Impulse that will carry up to 6 anglers in comfort and style. Dana Landing has a huge tackle shop with everything you need to go fish bay bass, tuna, or marlin, plus expert anglers on staff to help. They even have Mexican and California fishing licenses and reel repair. The deli at Dana Landing is a local's favorite with all the food, ice, and beverages you need. When it comes to freshwater tackle, East County Bait and Tackle is the spot for a great day on the lake. The ultimate in rods and reels, the latest freshwater lures and live bait. ECBT has a staff second to none when it comes to sharing their passion for fishing. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview in Lakeside, and Dana Landing is right across from SeaWorld next to the Dana Launch Ramp in Mission Bay. Check DanaLanding.com for more details. For local and long-range fishing, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among seasoned or novice anglers. But Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. They also do incredible Guadalupe white shark diving trips as well as a schedule of kayak mothership trips. You need to check out the Islander on their website, islander-charters.com. The Islander is San Diego's leader when it comes to 2 to 5 day fishing. Watch the website for trips and adventures available. Experience the Islander difference. Visit islander-charters.com for all the details.
Have you ever imagined casting a fly or a lure on one of the most beautiful and productive rivers in Alaska? At Katmai Lodge, you can catch up to all 5 species of Pacific salmon. The king, sockeye, chump, pink, and silver salmon, along with rainbow trout, Arctic grayling, Dolly Varden, and other native stream fish. When anglers dream of trophy salmon and trout, the Alagnak River is their destination, and Katmai Lodge is the premier base camp. Being the original river-based lodge on the Alagnak gives the facility a leg up on the competition. Both experienced and novice anglers have rated Katmai Lodge and its knowledgeable guides as the best of the best. Katmai Lodge is remote, yet offers all the amenities of a first-class lodge. During your Alaska visit, you'll see amazing wildlife, brown bears, caribou, eagles, moose, otters, and much more. Schedule a day trip on their private de Havilland Otter Float Plane and visit the world-famous Brooks Falls. Book online at katmai.com or call 1-800-330-0326. That's katmai.com or call 1-800-330-0326 for the fishing adventure of a lifetime. When it comes to tackle storage, it's got to be Flambeau, with several new products designed just for anglers. Check out the new H2O soft tackle system, now available in 3 sizes, complete with tuck tainers. The finest plastic tackle storage containers with Z-Rust, which has proven to be the best protection against rust and corrosion. Flambeau Tackle System's new AZ Tackle System has flexible designs to match your type of fishing. And for travel, protect your rods with a tough bazooka rod carrier. Flambeau, available at Turner's Outdoorsman, Sport Chalet, and other fine tackle retailers.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere. Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Phones are packed. They want to talk to Captain Ryan Bostian from the San Diego. Better yet, they want to go fishing with Captain Ryan Bostian.
I don't blame him.
Sport fishing. So let's jump into the phones.
You got it, man. Well, the phones are packed, and we're going to start it off in Fullerton this morning talking to Roger. Roger, good morning. Thanks for getting us started here on Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, Roger.
Thank you very much. Leaving tomorrow on a 5-day on the Searcher with my grandson.
Nice.
So I got a question about the flat fall. Do you tie it straight to the braid? Do you put fluorocarbon, and how much of that would you use, and what pound?
Captain?
We've been using a fluorocarbon leader on those flat falls, and 40 pound should be good. That's what I would use.
Okay. And what size?
What size flat fall?
Yes.
I'm not sure about, they're in grams, right?
Yeah, 160, 130.
I go by, like, holding up my two fingers. This long, that long, that long, or that long. The one that's about 3 inches long, 4 inches long, how much do they weigh, Rick?
100?
The 130 is like that's the ideal offshore. It's, it's this, for lack of a better terms, it's the size of a mega bait, but it's a little bigger around, and I definitely haven't seen one that was, don't use the 80 gram. That one doesn't get bit for sure. Those things are so hard to get your hands on buying one in the tackle store, and I've definitely not seen one that they don't bite really good.
It's the action. Just one's going to sink faster than the
I think that 130 to 160 is overwhelmingly the most popular for our guys offshore fishing because it pulls 40-pound and 50-pound line off the reel, no problem, and it sinks real good. It probably doesn't sink too fast, or who knows what it is about that size that maybe works so good, other than that's just the size we're used to fishing offshore.
And what color?
Silver.
Silver. Something with silver in
Something silver,
So doesn't matter. The other side doesn't matter as long as the one side's silver.
There's that one goldish purple color, too, that guys use.
That looks great.
Yeah, it works good. I don't think color's all that important with it.
Okay.
They all work. They're very effective.
Yeah.
Very, very, very effective.
All right. And the tuna are eating them?
They are. It seems
yellows
like,
are eating them?
Yeah. It seems like the bluefin like them the best for me, from what I've seen in my experiences. But the yellowfin also are being caught on them.
All right.
Yeah.
I would definitely put a piece of fluoro on them rather than the straight braided line because all of your bites come on the sink, and for whatever reason, they seem to eat those things really good, where the lure's pretty small. So you figure a tuna that's inhaling something like that, you hook them all like in the back of their throat. So for the most part, your line more often than not can be on, rubbing across their teeth. And bluefin definitely have some teeth, and with as crazy strong as Power Pro is, the abrasion resistance isn't nearly as good as fluorocarbon or even mono would be. So, on a bluefin especially, those things are so notorious for the end of the fight. They turn like straight up and down and open their mouth and shake their head, and you don't want straight spectra running across the teeth of a bluefin when they're shaking their head like that. It's like a largemouth bass on the rocks. That straight spectra it's so strong, but if you hit it on something sharp when it's taut, it'll cut no problem.
Yep.
So a piece of fluoro going through their teeth would be probably pretty important.
But it works so well cutting through kelp.
It's crazy,
it's
right?
It's amazing.
So weird that is like that. You're right.
It just does.
You hook a yellow and he's in the kelp. It's just a matter of time. You see Roger, dum, 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 and next thing you know, there's 4 kelp stalks floating around, and your yellow's at the boat side.
Versus if you had it on fluorocarbon or mono, it's
Kiss
done.
Goodbye.
It's over.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's fun. Hey, have a great trip on the Searcher. Great boat and great crew, and you are going to eat well with Chef Charles on the galley there. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right. How about next up we talk to Ed, who's calling us from Mira Mesa this morning. Good morning, Ed. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good, Ed. Good morning.
Good morning, Ed.
Good. Yeah, I was on the Shimano trip Friday, and it looked like there was quite a few boats around. I was wondering if maybe that was the cause that they didn't come up or something like that. And then also I have another question about. I was fortunate enough to win some of that new Power Pro, the 25% thinner.
Oh, yeah.
And
Max
what I was
Quattro.
wondering, what I was wondering about that was, should I have a shop put it on? Does it have to be put on tight? And is there any special knot that I should use to fluorocarbon to that?
This is Captain Ryan here. Thanks for coming on that trip. As far as the boat pressure affecting the fish on that trip, I don't think so. You know, the day before that, there was just as many boats in the area, if not more. And you know, like Rick mentioned earlier, everybody was drifting and everybody was at least picking at them. So it's just the mode of the fish. You know, they get into these crazy modes where we can't catch them. That's why, you know, purse seiners were invented. They don't always bite.
Or spear guns.
Spear guns, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're there.
They're there.
It just was one of those days where they just weren't on the chew.
Just not biting.
Yeah. And as far as how you put it on, I would let a tackle store do it. If you're not familiar with putting Power Pro on your reel, take it to a tackle store and have it put it on professionally. For the first time, have them show you how to do it. It's not that you can't do it yourself. I do it all the time. But, you know, I've watched how Rick does it, how Ryan does it in the tackle store, and there is a technique to it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just got to be on tight. It's got to get on really, really tight. Spectra has a tendency to bury down into itself when it's not, and can you get it on tight enough at home? Absolutely you can. You know, get a buddy and get a couple of rags and, you know, do the tennis ball with the dowel, or I've seen guys wind it on. You know, I mean, I've seen guys, which it'd be a pretty major pain in the butt, but an effective way to do it. I've seen guys wind it onto a rod first, like a separate rod and reel, is fairly tight. Then put the drag up on that rod and reel and wind it back onto the original rig that you're planning on fishing. So now you're winding against the bend in your rod, the bend in your buddy's rod, the drag on that reel. That's going to get it on plenty tight, but that's a lot of work too. Yeah. So the key is it's got to get on tight, and nothing gets it on as tight as a machine that was built for it with a guy that knows how to do it in the tackle.
And also you want to put something down on the base of the spool.
Good call, yeah.
Yeah, you got to put something that it can grab on, because if you don't, it can slide, and that whole unit will spin as one. Have you ever seen that, Ryan?
Oh, yeah.
Too many times.
So I use like a piece of blue tape.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Right?
I like the flex wrap, that you put over your fingers for
just
the
a one wrap around the bottom, right?
Give it something to bite on,
Something to bite on, too. So good luck. Hey, enjoy that Max Quattro. It is great stuff, that Power Pro. It comes 25% thinner, so 50 pound is like the diameter of 40 or 35, something like that.
That's cool.
Hey, let's head south. John Ireland's on the line from Rancho Leonero. Buenos dias, John.
Good morning, Peter, Rick, Ryan.
Morning.
What's up, John?
Yeah, we got good fishing for the billfish and the roosterfish. You know, the Bisbee's coming up week after next, and we're either in good, consistent 85-degree water, and it's clear from about 3 miles off the beach to 20 miles out. And the billfishing's been very, very good. A lot of blues, and some larger blues, it seems like, in the past weeks. A number over 300 pounds have been released. Hopefully they're being released. But I've heard of a number of them getting released. And we were out yesterday, and we picked up one that was in the 200-pound range. They're mixed. It's actually more blues than there are sails and stripers. There's about an even mix of sails and stripers as well. Real good bill fishing right now, and that's holding us up. Rooster fishing has been not as good as last year, but still real good. A lot of 50-pounders on the first drop off all the beaches. They seem to be in a little bit deeper water for whatever reason this year, and taking almost 100% caballito, but a very good rooster fishing bite as well. It's been pretty devoid of tuna. Earlier in the week, we had smaller football size on that school off of Veneramas, but that kind of petered out towards the end of the week, and Dorado fishing is still scarce like it was last week as well. Bottom fishing has been interesting. A lot of the pongas have been really working inside and fishing the bottom and doing real well. We had one boat that came in yesterday, and they released some of the cabria, but they had some real nice cabria on to about 20 pounds, I'd say, between 10 and 20-pound fish. But they had caught 19, and they kept 10 real nice ones, but they also had 3 yellowtail in I'd say the 10-pound class. And catching yellowtail in 85-degree water is unheard of around here. I've never heard of them this late in the year. But anyway, inside it's been very, very good fishing. A lot of pargo as well, and some grouper. So it's been real good fishing inside. The game fishing outside hasn't been great, but hopefully that'll turn on in this coming week. And the bill fishing has been spectacular.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Well, it's prime time in the East Cape. Great time to go down to Southern Baja and stay at Rancho Leonero. Any spots available, John?
Yeah. Throughout the year now, we've got spots available. We've been real busy. It's been a good year for us, but we do have rooms available through the year. And like I say, if somebody wants a blue marlin, really now's the time to come down and take a shot at them. The Bisbee again starts a week from this coming Wednesday.
Should be a good one.
Yeah,
no doubt.
I hope the fish stick around this year. Oh, voila, you guys. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
I have a feeling it's going to be better than the Dorado shootout as far as size-wise, though.
I think you're right.
I don't think so. We're going to not have to work real hard to do that.
Yeah. Well, of course, now the Team Baracho, Don and his gang, they're very happy about it. So, you don't want to complain about that.
You know, the untold story was the second place fish, I guess, was 1 ounce less than
it was right there too. Yeah, but they
that
still did pretty well. They were in the
12-9.
they were in the big jackpot, so they won more cash. But Don and his gang got the car and some nice cash. So
it's got to be some kind of record for pounds per winning or something. It's got to be some kind of record. A 12.9 pound fish is about $60,000 or $70,000 with it.
Sweet.
Every pound is worth $10,000.
It was $25K cash, I know, for first place and the Toyota Tundra. And then second place, I think the jackpot was like $30-something thousand too. So it was a lot of money. Just no fish.
Yeah, exactly. All right, John, how do we go to Rancho Leonero? We want to get on the boat.
Thanks, Pete. 800-646-2252 or rancholeonero.com.
All right. Thanks for the report. We'll talk to you next Sunday.
Sure will. Thanks, guys.
All right. Phones are packed. Let's jump into it, Rick.
You got it, man. How about we talk to George? George is calling us from Grand Terrace this morning. Hi, George. Thanks for joining us here on Let's Talk Hookup.
Good show, Rick. Pete, great show again. I haven't called in for a while, but it's wonderful. Got a legitimate, strong question. Sardines. I ran across them out there in one of the three-quarter-day boats. Hook size, hook type, where to hook the darn things, and recommended line size.
Right now, we've been fishing a lot of 25-pound. And, like I was talking about earlier, there's a lot of fish out there, but they're not wide open yet. They still take some work to get a bite. We've been fishing a lot of 25-pound, and we've been digging the smallest sardines we can find out of our bait tank for our hooks. Okay. Yeah, so we have been recommending size 2 live bait hooks.
Whoa!
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, we've been using really small hooks, and it's
making a difference.
Making a difference for sure. Yet on yesterday's trip, I told the guys put on size 2 hooks. And one of our passengers came up to me with a package of owner hooks, and it was actually a size 4, but it was the right size. Every brand size is a little bit different. So a 2 or a 4 size hook. The sardines we're using are only 4 inches long.
Okay.
They're small.
Like anchovy size.
Like anchovy size sardines. And that's been a big key for us. But there's going to come a time, hopefully real soon here, where you could fish the 40-pound and the biggest hook you want and be just fine.
Yeah.
It's just recently here I'm talking about, in the last week, where it's been kind of touch fishing.
And they changed their feed a little bit and on smaller baits.
Yeah, and with so much bait being in the water, it's you've had to do everything right to get a bite.
What about the metal, the Colt snipers and such like that?
Where those Colt snipers are most effective on the San Diego is when we're pulling up on schools of fish that are up on the surface, and they're a little boat shy. And, the boat is close to them for a split second, and then they move on. There's guys standing on the bow, essentially skiff fishing techniques, and picking one off on the Colt sniper real quick. The castability of a Colt sniper is hard to beat.
Yeah,
so you can get it in there.
You have a 9 or 10 foot rod and a Trinidad 20 or a Torium 20 and a Colt sniper. You can cast that thing, I don't know, conservatively
to the moon,
3/4 of a mile. The thing just goes forever. Like forever. And you can hit that spot before it goes down again.
That's when the stuff's more boat shy. But if the stuff comes to the bow, you're better off with bait.
With bait and the flat falls.
And the flat falls. Yeah. All right. Very good. Hey, hope that helps you out, Roger. Thanks a lot for the call. Or George. Excuse me, George. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right. Let's jump right back into the phones and talk to Hills. Hills is calling us from Ventura this morning. Hi, Hills. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Hills.
Hills.
to go to the default by County Line or something?
Good morning, Hills.
Hang on, they're talking about County Line. There might be a sea bass. They might be giving us some sea bass info right now.
They're casting for yellowfin tuna right along the beach.
That's true. All right, I was just hoping to score some sea bass dope from these guys real fast.
Hills, one more shot.
I think Hills is gone.
Here.
All right, well then how about we talk to Don? Don calling from Woodland Hills this morning. What's up, Don? Welcome to the show.
Heck, man, County Line, that's in my neighborhood.
That's it.
That's like when someone keys their mic in a wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's right.
I've got 2 questions for you today.
All right.
I've got a Tiernos 30, 100-pound Spectra. What kind of mono should I put on it, and how much for using it as a trolling rig? I'm going out tonight on the Islander. And then the other is I want to pick Captain Bostian's thoughts on poppers. How do you fish them, and when do you fish them?
As far as what pound line to put on your trolling outfit, 80-pound test is the industry standard for trolling lines. And poppers, yeah, that's been a lot of fun. It started last year. Last year we'd have 50 people on the boat every day, and 30 of them would be casting poppers. It was fun.
That's cool.
So we got to see a large sample size of what works and what doesn't work. And, Rick and I and Pete were just talking about this before the show started. It's kind of difficult to find the right popper outfit. It's a niche technique. You're casting a light lure at a big fish. So
trying to cast it a long way.
Trying to cast it a long way. So you need a reel that is versatile. And we've pretty much come to the conclusion on the San Diego, we've tried everything. And don't get me wrong, you could pull it off on a conventional reel. You certainly can. That's all I fished last year was like a Calcutta A, but they're a little slow. I've done it on a Trinidad 14, which is plenty of torque and plenty of reel for it, but you don't have you have to wind your line on even, which can be a little difficult.
A light lure is harder to cast.
Light lures is harder to cast. I as anti as sport boats can be on spinning reels, times are changing, and a spinning reel is the way to do it now. So
and you get the right rod. Shimano makes the perfect combos for throwing. They make poppers are huge in Florida and the East Coast and stuff like that, and there's a big market for them back there. So they've designed rods specifically for throwing poppers. Therese rod, multitude of Shimano spinning reels. That's the right kind of stuff for throwing poppers.
It's the way to go. It's the easiest way to work the lure. It's effortless casting all day long. You're less tired. I would get a good high quality spinning reel and the appropriate rod and do that.
The thing that Ryan just said there that is really important on that is that it stinks that it has to be this way, but it has to be a high quality spinning reel because that's the difference. All spinning reels today are not like they were 10 years ago. I mean, that reel is 100% up to the task of taking a 30 or 40 or even a 50-pound tuna, but the price is still towards the upper end on a reel that can do it right. I mean, sure, you can catch a big fish on a very inexpensive spinning reel, but you really need to be budgeting in that $300 plus range. Saragossa, I would say, is the least level in price that a guy should really be aiming his dollars towards to get an appropriate spinning reel that's going to have the torque, and you can get high torque out of a very inexpensive conventional reel, but to get that higher torque out of a spinning reel, you've got to spend a few more bucks for it.
So if you're going to land a tuna, you need the torque.
You do. That's everything, because a spinning reel doesn't offer you the advantage of being able to rest the rod on the rail and let the boat take a little more of that pressure, because the line is coming off the bottom side of the rod instead of the top like a conventional. You can't set it on the rail because the line rubs against. So you got to be able to pull on it, and you've got to have the power in the handle to help turn the fish. So I would say Saragossa would be a very good option for not spending crazy amounts of money. And if I was going to buy one right now, I would look really hard at that new line that Shimano came out with called the Twin Power.
Right.
It's a brand new reel that got debuted at ICAST, and it is very Stella-ish without spending the Stella money.
Considerably less.
Yeah, it's like half the price less. And again, if the budget
but it's
allows,
still not cheap. $600.
Exactly. Yeah, it's what you would spend for a high-end conventional reel.
Yeah.
It's like buying a Trinidad.
Yeah.
And then the same thing applies if the budget allows for it. Catching a fish with a Stella is just it's just like fishing,
Nothing like
it's just like going from a TLD to a Torium to a Trinidad. A TLD is one of the best reels ever and free spools like a son of a gun and could catch fish all day long. And then you get a Torium and you feel how much more power you have on the handle. It's huge. And then Torium's like one of the nicest reels out there. And then you fish a Trinidad and it's like, oh, my God, look at this thing. That's how those levels of spinning reels are.
That's it. Yeah, no, that's a good description. I think a really good description is getting a coffee grinder in Rock Cod Rick's hands and having him actually advocate for buying a spinning reel. And the history of it, and those who listen to the show may understand, is I used to go to Pesca Panama and fish from the skiff and throw the big poppers at those giant tuna down there. First year I went, I was throwing a Trinidad 20 and the popper, and I caught a couple here and there, but then I'd switch over to their gear that they have on Pesca Panama, which is all Stellas and the right rods and such like that. It makes such a difference in the action of the popper. The next time I went down, I brought my own Stella and the Therese popping rod. It's all the difference in the world. And I told Rick, here, just take this with you. And
I was just the most adamant. Don't worry about me, buddy. I can cast fine. I don't need.
I'm going. Trinidad's just fine for me.
Don't worry about what I got going.
I'm the same way. I remember reading a post from Tim Ekstrom on the Royal Stars website one time, and he used the term spinning reels used to get nothing more than a hearty chuckle on these on these boats.
Yeah, right.
But times have changed. They have passengers that fish spinning reels for big tuna. On poppers. So times have changed. Reel technology's changed.
Casting a lure that's that light and being able to keep the rod at a very high angle and move the popper with your right hand and turn the handle with your left, like those are the things that you can't do with a conventional reel. And the spinning reel does it. It does it better. As much as it pains me to say it, like it fishes the lure better than your other rod does.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
Hey, when we come back, we got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including a big block of your phone calls. We're going to catch in with the catch report, find out what's biting out there. Lots of great stuff coming up. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. A spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or a fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
It's time to talk about great equipment from the Shimano. We just talked about it, the Twin Power SW from Shimano. Brand new, introduced at ICAST in Florida this year, and it is quite the reel. It has the power, the gears, it has X-Ship, it has an amazing X-Protection. It is built for saltwater, and it's built for our area, but it's half the price of the top-of-the-line Stella.
Basically, the reel was designed with all the technology that was learned in them building Stella, and they basically put as strong and powerful reel as they could in a package for as little money as they could.
Yeah, big handle, big power, and when you're fishing for tuna, that's what you need. Hey, what if you were fishing in the small tuna and that big 70-pounder climbs on that reel? You want to be able to have the power to land that fish, and the Twin Power by Shimano will do it.
That's it.
Size? Depends on what? Maybe 8,000?
I think that'd be about perfect.
8,000 would be a perfect size. So check it out at your local Shimano dealer, the Shimano Twin Power SW.
You've made the investment in a boat, and you know how important it is to take good care of it. That's why you need Monsoon Yacht Service. Mark and his staff specialize in taking care of your boat and making it look its best. No matter if it's on a trailer or in a slip, let Monsoon Yacht Service clean and polish your boat to make it look like new. Monsoon Yacht Service also does fiberglass and gel coat repair, custom rigging, and the best detailing you have ever seen. Be proud of your boat again with the help of Monsoon Yacht Service. 619-405-2176 or check monsoonyachtservice.com.
Are you feeling that itch to get out on the water? Come fishing on the American Angler and reacquaint yourself with some familiar faces and make new friends. Captain owners Brian Kiyohara and Sam Patella take pride in every aspect of the American Angler operation, from their loyal and trusted crew to the sashimi-grade fresh fish you'll take home. It's easy to find a vacation that fits your schedule. We have everything from day and a half to 10-day trips and longer. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. We want you to become a part of the American Angler family.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Padres.
Oh, right.
San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Hey, as promised, it's time to find out what's biting out there. Catchport today is sponsored in part by Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Summer fishing means it's time to call Fisherman's Processing. And if you're on a private boat, you got to call them. Call them the day before you go to make arrangements so you can drop your fish off either right at their dock, you can pull the boat and the trailer right up to the front door, or you can do an after-hours drop where you get a tag, get a lock combo, and you can put your fish directly into their icy slush bins so that they can take care of it for you. When the fish comes up, it'll be primo condition when you pick it up the next day. If you want to get more information, you can friend them on Facebook at Fisherman's Processing, or for more details, you can check fishermansprocessing.com. Let's start off our catch board up at Dana War Sport Fishing. Talk to the man, Captain Brian Woolley. And, Woolley, I got a feeling you probably had a pretty busy week this week.
Holy cow, it was crazy.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. You know, it's just another one of those weeks where you just can't believe how good a fishing is. And, you know, if it didn't happen in front of you and you wouldn't believe it, half a deal.
So cool.
So, yeah, I mean, starting with that tuna fishing, you know, holy cow, these things are close. You know, we're seeing good fish at 3 miles, like straight out of the harbor. You know, it's crazy. And, you know, bite's different every day. Some days that stuff's a little more, you know, ready to bite in the mornings. Other days, you know, you have to kind of wait it out and you get it in the afternoon. So it's a good mixed grade, too. You know, stuff in the 12-pound up to that bigger 50, 60, 70. And, you know, we're still seeing bruisers of that jumbo stuff, too. So super solid mix. And, you know, like I said, some days it bites a little bit better than others. It still, you know, hasn't gone in this full crazy mode. But, you know, I'm imagining any time that stuff's, you know, going to hit that gear and it's going to go for it. As far as the right tackle, you know, at 25 to 30 pound, I'd say would be your minimum. And certainly, you know, don't come under gun. Bring your, you know, your 40, 50, 60, just bring that stuff, but you never know, what you're going to encounter. Certainly, you know, you could stop on a school of fish and, you know, it looks like that smaller 15 to 25 stuff. And, you know, again, they've got bigger stuff mixed in there, so you don't know really what you're going to get the hook into for sure. Along the beach, this bass fishing, the calico bass fishing is just as good as it gets. Phenomenal calico bass fishing with the starting we have. And we had a couple of days with some really good yellowtail fishing along the beach here, too. And the yellowtail fishing along the beach in a couple of spots was unreal this week. You know, I had the Dana War Kids Camp. You know, we had the 25 kids on the boat each day this week, and we got a shot at some of that fish. But on Friday, the kids got to see how good it really can get there along the beach. We had, no joke, we hooked over 100 fish. We only got 10 to the boat.
Oh!
These are kids, right? These are 10 to 14-year-old kids that they just got absolutely manhandled by these fish. And, I mean, the smiles, the laughter, the whole element watching these kids hook this fish. And they're up crashing around the boat for a better part of an hour and a half. It was ridiculous.
So rad, man.
How good it can be. And some of these kids did a fantastic job getting these fish to the boat, but it was, you know, tight quarters in kind of near some kelp. So, you know, there was certainly some loss there, but watching these kids just get destroyed by this fish, it was pretty cool to see. They did a phenomenal job.
What was it?
It was all 25 to 35 pound yellowtail.
Oh my!
Yeah, big yellow.
Yeah.
Big yellows.
Big yellow, and you know, it's just that kelp-head fish that just is relentless. So it was a lot of fun to watch these kids just do everything they could in their strong little bodies to keep that fish from getting the best.
Put it in gear and watch it sing, huh?
That's it. You know, we were hooking fish, handing it to the kids, and just watching. I mean, a little kid on a 9-foot jig rod or whatever. It was hard for them to handle a lot of the tackles. Just the fish were too big, and they didn't have the strength to deal with it. But it was cool. The smiles and the laughter and the stories these kids are gonna have. You know, after that, it's what it's all about. You know,
That's
it's really
rad.
fun. So
One of the things that Dana War Sport Fishing does best, taking kids fishing.
we got a good time with those kids this weekend. Some of those kids can flat out know what's up. They did a great job. So if you guys want to hop on a trip with us, certainly reservations. You need to call and make your reservation. The trips are filling up fast. We've got the limited load stuff, you know, every day this week as well. So call and see if there's spots on stuff. I know I have a trip on the Sunfun on Wednesday. We put it online yesterday, and it's already 2/3 full. So that's, you know, limited to 30 guys all day, 5 to 5. So call and make your reservations. The phone number landing, 949-496-5794. And you can check us out on the web at DanaWare.com.
And you can link us up right on the front page of the Let's Talk Hookup website, hookup1090.com. Click on that banner and save a bunch
There
of
you
money.
Go. That'll save you on the local 3/4 trip. You know, it's not going to work on the all-day 5 to 5 stuff, but
Right.
you got half-day people. You got someone coming in town, you want to help on a quick little half-day. That's
Half and
certainly
3/4.
save you some money.
There you go. All right. Brian Woolley, thanks a lot for that. We'll talk to you next Sunday.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate that. We're waiting for Gundy, but in the meantime, Brian said something very important, that is reservations. And that is so important with the San Diego, isn't it?
Very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
don't want to get down there and be disappointed.
No. Call, make a reservation, and we'll hold your spot for you. I saw last night that we're sold out through Tuesday now.
Sold out through Tuesday.
Yeah. So you want to make your reservation 4, 5, 7 days in advance if you know you're coming fishing, if the fishing stays good.
You can either call the landing or just book right online.
Book right online, yeah. Seaforthlanding.com. You can do it through the boat's website, thesandiego.com, or just call them on the phone, the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. So right now you do not need a passport. You're fishing in U.S. waters. You just need a California fishing license.
Yes. It's kind of a day-to-day decision on that, whether we're going to fish U.S. waters or Mexico, wherever we feel the best sign of fish was the day before. If we do fish in Mexico, we have been fishing outside the 12-mile line.
Okay.
So you do not need a passport.
But you need a Mexican fishing license.
But you need a Mexican fishing license,
Which you
yes.
can buy an annual if you go multiple times, and it's good for the entire year.
Yeah, if you're going to fish in Mexico 3 or more days in a year, it pays to buy an annual. It'll
3
pay,
or more days.
It'll pay for itself. I think they're $48 or something, or it's $15 a day. So
And you can buy it right at the landing there.
buy it right at the landing of the tackle shop. Go
Yeah.
see Dustin and the boys in there. And if we fish U.S. waters, you'll just need your California fishing license.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. And that's so. How do we know that's going to happen? How are things going to change?
If you are on the reservation sheet, the office guys are going to call you the night before.
Okay.
They're going to say, hey, the boat has decided to fish U.S. waters. If you have an annual California fishing license, bring it so you don't have to buy it daily.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think on the website it is advertised as fishing Mexico right now every day. If we decide to fish U.S. waters, you're going to get a call from the landing, or, if you didn't make a reservation and you're just curious, you can look at the website and it'll be on there.
Which is likely what's going to happen now. For the next few days, it's going to be California fishing license.
Most likely, yeah. Most of the fish are from the border to the north, Dana Point.
Yeah.
So.
But think about that. He sold out till Tuesday, so you better get on those reservations.
And I just reading between the lines there, too, about the decision. And obviously, there's such good fishing offshore, but just the same, I mean, if that fishing got really good at the Coronado Islands, or if it was just too close to the beach, just be prepared for all scenarios. I mean, this fishing season is going to stay epic all year long, and you don't want to be left at the dock or not go because you either, one, didn't have a license or didn't have your passport thing. I think it goes back to the same thing we said earlier this year. Like, just get your passport now.
Be ready.
It's such not a difficult thing to do anymore.
We have people getting passports, regular passengers of ours. We have people getting their passports in 5 days.
5 days.
All the time now.
All the time.
Through the local office.
San Diego Passport Agency downtown.
Yeah.
Their passport card, it will work. You don't need to get the passport book. You can just get a passport card.
Oh, so you don't need a regular passport.
No.
If you're going to fly...
If you're going to fly,
you need the
book. So you might as well get both. But if you're strictly getting it to fish on a 3/4 day fishing boat that fishes the Coronado Islands, just get the card.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. It's faster. It works all the same.
Yeah.
And
if you're in L.A., Orange County... It may be faster for you to drive to San Diego with an appointment and get it at San Diego because they're not as busy as some of the offices in L.A. and Orange County.
I know Don Sansom was telling me that he went to UCSD and got his passport there, and he said he was in and out of that building in 15 minutes.
Yeah. There is a passport agency there.
I didn't know that. That's
cool.
So
a lot of different options.
It's just too easy not to. The card is killer. Like, I don't even... the whole passport thing, for me, like, I have a passport book that I use to fly with, but that always stays at home. And the passport card is the size of a credit card. I just keep it in my wallet all the time. And I mean, I don't even think about making sure to grab my passport, because I always have my wallet with me, and that passport is always in my wallet. You know, when you have that, it just becomes, again, a non-factor.
So here's another interesting thing. I'm going to Cedros Adventures tomorrow with our group, Let's Talk Hookup group, and I had put in my passport number to Jeff Rodriguez in the office. And then so I thought, well, shoot, I'm not going by air necessarily. I'm entering Mexico on the ground, which means I could use my passport card. Yes, it will work, but because I already gave him my passport number, I have to take my passport. Had I given him my passport card number, I could use that. So that if those of you going to Cedros Adventures, take heed on that. If you have a passport card, you don't have to take a passport. You just throw your passport card in your wallet, and you're ready.
Good to go.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, when we come back, we got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. We got more of your phone calls, more great information. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now 18 stores throughout Southern California and 3 in San Diego County. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find the location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
Everyone likes special treatment, you know, kind of feel like a VIP. Well, that's how our listeners are treated at Poway Valley Collision. I have personally heard of several stories of how well our friends Jim and Mary take care of their customers that we sent them. Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. We know you may not need them today, but when accidents happen, it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. And listen to this. Our listeners get a special discount that can save you hundreds of dollars on your car or truck repair. Just tell them you listen to the show and you get the deal. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, Wawanesa, and more. Just bring your car or truck to them and let Poway Valley Collision do the rest. I have had my truck repaired at Poway Valley Collision, and the job was perfect. So get your vehicle fixed right at Poway Valley Collision. Tell them you listen to Let's Talk Hookup, and they'll save you money on your repair. Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com.
XSRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Padres.
Padres are playing some kind of baseball.
San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Information is the key to success, and inside information is even better. When it comes to fishing, inside information is critical, and that's what FishDope.com delivers. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and save fuel. FishDope.com is the only SST service with a satellite oceanographic PhD on board, the only fish finding service with a spotter plane. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. FishDope.com boasts the largest code group anywhere, covering sport boats, commercial boats, and private boaters. FishDope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot bite icons, and more. What I'm telling you is, if you don't have FishDope.com, well, good luck. Membership costs less than 40 gallons of gas for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, stay tuned for the special code to save $20 on a FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
Fisherman's Landing has been the choice of sport fishing anglers for decades, with the largest fleet of long-range boats worldwide, complemented by Southern California's finest charter and open party fleet. Now is the time to book your long-range trips and charters, plus half-day trips aboard the Dolphin. Go to fishermanslanding.com and see trip availability, and even book your trip online. Stop by or call Fisherman's Landing in San Diego and book now at fishermanslanding.com.
Summer has finally arrived, bringing warmer waters our way. And you know what that means? The offshore fishing this season could be one of the best ever. And speaking of best ever, have you seen the new 2015 Ford F-150? It's the most advanced F-150 ever, which is even more good news for fishermen. One of my favorite features is the available 360-degree camera. It lets you see everything around you, which really comes in handy when you're trying to launch on a crowded dock. It's also the first truck ever to be built with military-grade aluminum alloy. That means the new F-150 is up to 700 pounds lighter to accelerate faster and stop quicker. It also hauls more and tows more. And get this, it does it all more fuel efficiently. I highly recommend taking one out for a test drive. The new F-150 is the best thing to happen to fishermen in San Diego since the barbed hook. So stop by your San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.